Results with Hugh Jensen. Today's episode, a quote by Marcus Aurelius. Today's quote or topic is going to be one of my favorite quotes from Marcus Aurelius. The quote is, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Again, Marcus Aurelius. Very little is needed to make a happy life. There isn't a lot that's necessary. We see in the news all the time that I think people assume that you need money to be happy, or you get everything and you're happy and you're complete. And I think definitely recently we've seen things such as the suicide of Robin Williams, we've seen the suicide of Anthony Bourdain, and we've seen the suicide of Kate Spade. All are people certainly that financially are in a great spot, and in some cases, I think very few people would think someone like Anthony Bourdain, who gets to travel all over the world and interact with cultures all on another company's dime. That's amazing, right? How many people do we know who would want to be famous designers like Kate Spade? And then how many people do we know would want to be movie stars and world-renowned loved comedians like Robin Williams? I think that we often look for material things to make us complete. And so when you look at this quote from Marcus Aurelius, very little is needed to make a happy life. It's not material things. It's being happy with who you are. It's knowing that you're completing, or your raison d'etre, your reason for being is there. And so sometimes people they hunt for their happiness in other things outside of themselves. And again, very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within yourself, in your way of thinking. And so what Marcus Aurelius is saying there, I think, is that you can have everything physically, but if you don't have the house in order, you're not going to be happy. And you can search and hunt, and you see people who do very self-destructive things. They get addictions, whether it's alcohol, drugs, physical affection addictions, all types of different things, and they keep gathering and collecting things, trying to find a way to fill that void. And they think that they need more and more and more to be happy. And again, I keep repeating the quote because I think it has three parts that are very important. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. And so often, if we can just find a way to adjust the way that we're thinking, or how we value or evaluate things, we can find the happiness that's been eluding us for so long. If you're one of those people who tends to go find things, whether it's shopping, therapy, drinking, alcohol, drugs, again, unhealthy relationships, I need to be by somebody, I need to be with somebody, I can't be alone. There are many things that we can do. Maybe you become a hoarder, or you have an unhealthy obsession with a collection or whatnot. Really sit back and just really think through this Marcus Aurelius quote. Again, probably the fourth or fifth time. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Now, that's not saying that if life is rough and you don't have things, you're going to be happy, but it also means that you cannot have things and be perfectly happy. Think about that. You can have everything in the world and be incredibly lonely, unhappy, miserable. You can have absolutely nothing and be as happy as the day is long. So really focus on knowing that your happiness is within you. It's not out there waiting for you to discover it. Does that mean you don't put together plans and goals and you go after those? Absolutely not. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is that recognize that very little is needed to be happy. It's all within yourself, and it's in your way of thinking. If you don't have that in order, then no matter what you go out and seek, hunt, chase, collect, gather, whatever you do to yourself to distract yourself from the fact that you're at your core not happy, isn't going to fulfill you. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining me, and make sure you have a happy day. And let's make sure you have a fantastic year. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.